Godzilla.
What's going on, Godzilla Nation? This is our Godzilla. Welcome to part 2 of my Pokemon Let's Go Eevee team. Thank you for joining me as always. If you missed last week's installment, I'll put a link in the description down below. But basically, what this video is to show you guys the team I'm looking at building to take to the Elite Four and hopefully become Kanto League champion with. Now, last week's episode was based on just the standard 151 Pokemon available to us. This episode is going to evolve, Pokemon pun.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
But in all seriousness, it's going to involve the Alolan types that will be available to us. Now, Masuda has already come out and said that Alolan form Pokemon will be available in the game. They're not going to be able to be caught in the overworld like the original 151, but there will be a way that they're keeping under wraps that we can have Alolan types within the game. So I thought it was only right to do a second team based on the Pokemon that I would use as their Alolan forms to take to the Pokemon League. Now, what I've decided to do is do 3 just standard from the 151 and 3 from the Alolan form Pokemon to form my team of 6. Obviously, the first Pokemon is going to be the same as in the last video, and it's because it's the mascot of the game we will be playing. We will be playing Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, so Eevee is going to be our first choice. Exactly what I said in the last video. The reason I am going with Pokemon Let's Go Eevee is because I think there's going to be heavy saturation around people playing Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, because Pikachu's a fan favorite, but because Pikachu is able to be selected in past games, I want to have an experience with you guys that is different to what we normally get. And because this is the first time outside of, you know, fan games and stuff like that, it's the first time Nintendo has given us a core game where Eevee is able to be selected as the primary starter. And that's why we are going with Eevee. And obviously, have a look how cute he is. You can't go past picking Eevee as your starter Pokemon to take you on your adventure. The second Pokemon that will be joining our team at whatever point we can catch one, or evolve to one at least, is an Alakazam. Now, in Gen 1, Kanto, Psychic Pokemon were absolutely OP, and Psychic type moves were able to 1-2 hit KO most Pokemon in the game. And what better than to bring Alakazam, the OG Psychic type, into our team. Alakazam is a Pokemon that I've loved using in some of my playthroughs, be them on camera or off camera, and I thought going back to Kanto could really add a little bit of depth to our lineup, and especially if they remain with that OP structure with how the Psychic types can be so dominant. It'd be good to have a special attack enforcer on our team, and none better than the spoon-bending Alakazam to take that slot at number 2. Number 3, and the final just original form from the 151, and a little bit stiff to miss my original team, so this is why he's getting selected in this one. It's Dragonite, Dragonair, Dragonite, Dratini, one of my favourite pseudo-legendary lines, probably my favourite pseudo-legendary line in the entire Pokemon franchise. And it'd be a miss if I left Dragonite out. It's got a good move pool, it can cover some of the holes that my team is lacking with certain Pokemon, and I'm hoping we can ride on the back of this bad boy. If we can get on the back of a Charizard, we should be able to get on the back of a Dragonite. Dragonite is going to be my designated ride Pokemon if this is the team we are going with. You're probably asking, Zero, where's the Arcanine at? You said you've been waiting to ride on the back of an Arcanine. That was with my first team, because in place of Arcanine for my Alolan Structured Team, and in slot number 4, I am going with Alolan Marowak. I just can't get past the fact of being able to have a Fire Ghost type combination on the team. It obviously takes out my need to have Arcanine, my need to have like a Gengar or someone like a Snorlax that can use Ghost type moves, and it combines it into one. And I really think Alolan Marowak as a sprite following you around would look absolutely baller. Alolan Marowak is something that I've gotten into competitive battling recently and adds a little bit of flair, and I think adding him to an original Kanto team, especially when we come up against those psychic types, he can do a lot of damage. It just depends on how the Alolan forms are going to work their way into the game, because obviously, as I said before, Masuda has turned around and said they will be in the game, but you're not going to be able to catch them like you do with the standard Pokemon. So I don't know whether it's a post-game thing or whether it's going to involve the Pokemon Go. I am not sure with how it's going to go, but I'm very keen to find out, because the fact that he has indicated Alolan forms will be there has me very hyped, and I'm happy to announce Alolan Marowak as my first Alola form. The fifth Pokemon and second Alola form Pokemon on my team is one that we're going to use as a defensive wall, but one that brings a dual typing that is going to add a little something to our team, and that's Alolan Golem. Now, I said in the last episode, Golem is one of those Pokemon that I've always gone to as a defensive wall because of the bulk you can put behind its defense and special defense. The fact it gets a dual typing of electric is absolutely insane, because even though it's going to be very susceptible to ground type moves, there aren't many Pokemon in the game that you're going to come up against, probably minus Giovanni's gym, the last gym in Kanto. There's not many Pokemon that are going to be able to roll this, and it's going to come in handy if we are forced to use an Alolan type Golem against a water type. We know we're going to have a type advantage with that electricity. It's going to be extra damaging against flying types. It's going to be able to help us out in the long run when we get to the Elite Four. I think Alolan Golem is a Pokemon we can base our defensive structure around. He's the wall, the rest are going to get the job done. The final selection for my Alolan-based team, and I'd be amiss to not pick this one, is Alolan Ninetales. Now, with Arcanine being a Ride-type Pokemon, I'd like to see how big the Ninetales is built and whether it's a rideable Pokemon as well. In Poke 1, the MMO, it is rideable, so I'm hoping it might be the case with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, because being able to get on the back of an Alolan Ninetales would be something very majestic to behold. And the fact that it's dual typing Ice Fairy, that Dragon Trainer waiting for us in the Elite Four, he can just say goodnight. He's done. We're going to clean sweep him. The Blastoise we're going to take in our first team, we were hoping to just have an Ice Beam or something to get the job done. Pretty much Ninetales is going to go in with a moveset that should be able to pretty much clean sweep him without having to swap in anybody else. And I think that unique typing of Fairy Ice, considering that we've never had the Fairy typing in the original Kanto game before, it is something that I'm looking forward to being able to utilize, because obviously, as I said, it's uncharted territory. It's something that we've never seen, something that we've never been able to experience. It could get completely crushed against other Pokemon, don't get me wrong, but I think heading into the Elite Four, Alolan Ninetales could be an absolute game changer, and that's why it takes the final spot on my Alolan Structured Team. So there it is, guys. That is the 6 Pokemon that I will be taking with me on my team if Alolan Pokemon and all Alolan Pokemon are confirmed. We know that they're going to be in the game in some way, shape or form, and we're going to be able to use them, but we haven't been told details on whether all of them are going to be available, if only some of them are going to be available, if we're going to be able to get them, during the main game, or whether it's going to be a post-game thing, how we're going to go about getting them. That's all something we're still waiting for news on. It's something they're keeping under wraps, so I don't think we're going to find out until really close to the date. If not, we will discover it for ourselves when we pick the game up. But thank you for joining me as always, guys. If you do want to add me on Nintendo Switch as a friend before the game comes out, I will drop my Switch friend code in the description down below. I'd love to battle with you guys online when the game comes out, chat with you all. I think it'd be a great way for us to communicate, even maybe throw some battles online, I don't know. Drop a like if you have been liking this little mini-series and are enjoying Poke Monday on the channel as a whole. Poke 1 is something that I'm getting stuck into. If you didn't catch the video early today, go check it out. A lot of you are loving it. It's making me look at avenues of different Pokemon MMOs and just MMOs in general for myself to dive into. So thank you so much for that support. If you're new to the channel, there's plenty of other content to go check out. I urge you to do so. And if you're enjoying what I'm throwing down, hit that subscribe button. Pledge your allegiance to the God Zero Nation. My social media links are down below. Hit me up on all of those. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Love chatting with you all. Whether it's about Pokemon, gameplay in general, or just general life chat, just come talk to me. I love speaking to each and every one of you and cannot thank you guys enough for all the support you've thrown behind myself and the channel. Notification bell, make sure you hit that so you're notified every single time something brand new hits the channel or I go live, something I'm looking at doing again very soon, so stay tuned for that. But that's it from me, guys. I'm out of here, and as always, I will catch you guys next time.